Good morning and welcome. What an auspicious day, and I hope you feel privileged, as I feel, to stand next to a really amazing group of young men and women. As I read through their resumes, or what we asked the parents for were brag sheets, and gosh, thanks for the 6-point font. I really appreciate that. Can I tell you that this is an extraordinary group of young men and women. Leaders, on almost every page, leaders, captains, state champion this. I think the last time that some of these kids took a non-AP class, President Clinton was in the White House. I want to tell you, there's a solar car built without instructions in this group. A pilot with over 100 hours of flying time. 2 guys that have been setting records and chasing and running after each other. I hope they stay in the building long enough for us to celebrate them. Simply extraordinary. I want to tell you that there are people that study physics, global health, business, leadership, education. It really is an amazing group of young people. So everybody sit up straight, because we need to be worthy of them this morning. Our church for years has done the spiritual getting ready for this week. And I want to talk to our seniors and say, this is a week unlike any other week. You've worked a long time to come into this week, and I hope today is the beginning of a doorway that opens for you. For extra bonus points, I'm just wondering if any of our seniors could properly identify the picture that adorns the cover of the bulletin this morning. Gosh, it's one of my all-time favorites. Those of you that are well-versed in Dostoevsky or Shakespeare or Dickens may not quite get one of the greatest writers of the past 400 years. Mo, where is that picture, please? It's the inside of Bilbo Baggins' house. Does anybody know the name of his house? Yes, Jill, thank you very much. Please see Jill after the service. The name of the house is Bag End. And this was the view that Tolkien uses to teach a very important truth about the journey through life. Tolkien uses a fictional character, Bilbo, to take a journey. And when Bilbo steps out of that door, the adventure begins. And life is never the same again. Those of you that have done it, do you remember what that doorway was like? It may not be the beautiful green round door that Tolkien conveyed in the Midlands of England. It may not look like that, but does everybody remember this door? It's a door, once you step through that threshold, you can't really ever come home the same way again. Home is here, but you're different. My father met me at the doorway in 1982 to go to college. He gave me a hug, and he stood in the doorway, and he said, "Son, it will never be the same again, and you are ready for this journey." And it was never the same again. And I stand here before these distinguished graduating seniors, and I want to tell you, we put it into the prayer. Did you notice the little Tolkien geek moment in our opening prayer? You're welcome. Once you step through this threshold, life is never quite the same again. Home will always be here. You're from an amazing place. But I want to tell you what changes you. And as I review all of your amazing work, I know that each one of you is ready. You're ready to take this journey. You're ready for an adventure. You're ready to leave the Shire and all its predictable stuff and launch out into a very unknown world. And we want to celebrate you and just have a moment to say thank you to you. and to give you a prayer. I think a lot about the world. I have a junior in high school, my daughter. I think a lot about the world. Do you know the world that these guys are launching into? It's entirely possible before the end of their college experience, we will have a quantum computer. A quantum computer does something that today's computers cannot do. And in fact, the prediction is that quantum computer will make today's fastest computer look like an abacus. If you put an X on one page of one book in the Library of Congress, our fastest computers today have to search every page one at a time to find that X. Everybody with me? Guess what a quantum computer will do? Does anybody know? Do you guys know? A quantum computer can examine every page of every book in the Library of Congress simultaneously and find that X in less than a nanosecond. How's that going to change things for this group of graduates? This group of graduates is entering a world in which they might well be able to fill out a sheet with desirable genetic traits. And if you're Scottish, like I am, undesirable genetic traits, like most of them, when they have children. That's entirely possible. Can you imagine a world in which they will not have to teach their children how to drive a car? There are driverless cars in field testing right now. I want to make sure that someone out of this august group puts the chip in the car to teach people how to drive through the Vail roundabouts, which would be a very helpful way to actually use computer technology in a positive way. Oh, by the way, seniors, do you have cards, credit cards, debit cards with chips on them? Security chips? Has anybody ever looked at the cards? Parents, do you have chips on your cards? Yeah, guess what? By the time they graduate from college, you may not have a chip on your card. Guess what that chip's going to be? Subdermally planted. So our graduates can spend money even easier than what they can. We're not going to chip cards very much longer. We're going to start chipping ourselves. It's already happening today. It is kind of an interesting world. Computer sentience by 2043. NASA's experimenting with a faster-than-light spacecraft called, of course, Enterprise. Very appropriately. Right now. Let's think about the challenges of this world. Because you guys are going into a world that most of us have not experienced. ISIS militants on a boat coming out of Libya, which has no effective government whatsoever, landing in Italy and in the south of Europe to come to your favorite European city. Biotech, all kinds of challenges in this world. And you guys, the only thing we can give you our love, which we have. We can give you the greatest truth that we know. What we cannot give you is the experience to claim the values that we hope you do. You have to go find that for yourself. And that's what this journey is all about. So I want to tell you that I chose today's reading from John because Jesus says something that I hope you remember. Jesus said, I will not call you servants anymore. We won't call you kids anymore. If your family has nicknames, great. We don't want to hear them now. Jesus said, I will now call you friends because everything I have from my Father I've shared with you. Can I tell you that the greatest book that I've ever read, the book with more truth in it than any other book, is the book we're about to give you, and that's called the Bible. It doesn't tell you every single thing. The Bible's not so good with physics, but it does tell you about the Creator behind the creation. And it is a beautiful guide through life. When I was launching on my journey, I searched through every major philosophical system in college. I read them, I spoke to them, I worshipped with them, I ate their cookies, and I even danced with them. Imagine that picture. But I want to tell you that over and over and over again, the words that came through, that guided my life, were the words in the book that we're about to read. And it was not written by Dickens or Dostoevsky, and not even by Tolkien. It was written by God for each one of you. And so I want to say that if you take a scripture beyond the one I'm about to give you, think about Jesus saying, I'm not going to call you servants anymore.